What's going on? Welcome to PBB Conversations. Today we're here at Enloe High in Raleigh, North Carolina, and we have the opportunity to sit down with a man that wears many hats. Father, coach, mentor, player, not to mention community activist and leader, and also a North Carolina Central Hall of Famer, Poobie Chapman.
Yeah.
How you living, man?
Chilling. Word.
Can't call it, bro.
Cold out there. That's
Bro.
new. That's new.
Yeah, it's one of the new joints.
I need that.
How's the game yesterday?
It was solid, bro. It was insane and it was packed. We ended up winning by 6 though. Yeah, we needed that one. It was the environment was OD.
For real?
Standing room only. They had we had 2 student sections. It was crazy. That was the craziest joint that we had since I've been here for sure.
For real?
Yeah, for sure. That was crazy.
It feels good being back home.
That was the one. I think we've had some packed games, but that was the one where I'm like, okay, like now we might have restored the feeling a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we just did this morning. I just put this up this morning.
Oh, word?
Just a little ode to a couple people that's been in this zone for a little bit. We got Big Mel, Chris, PJ, my joint in there. We got my young fella Josh that was just here.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of like, you know, it was a long time we didn't really have too much in here. We're trying to put something new in here this year, for real.
I hear you on that.
Nah, for sure. I know a lot of people don't even know Nate went here. Nate or Ville.
Yeah.
Nate, Ville, PJ, Moses, he just left.
Who's the top 5 players from Enloe?
We just got added. This is tough because in the 80s we was a powerhouse. So like, Cookie Jones, it's so Danny Young, like it's you know what I'm saying. It's so many people. I don't want to do that because then it's gonna be calling me talking about what about the 80s, what about the 90s. So I just say everybody nice.
I feel you.
I say everybody nice.
I feel you.
Nah, for sure.
So Pooh, you know, having played here at Enloe, and you know accomplished so much, you know, were you nervous coming back to coach at your alma mater?
Not so much because I know like if I'm coming back here to coach. Initially, like instantly, I'm pouring back into things that I learned. I was here, like I was here for 4 years, and I was completely immersed in the culture of it. So I know a part of it is me anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm just trying to. When I came back, I just wanted to bring. I wanted to return the feeling that I had when I was here, and bring some other stuff that I learned from other worlds. So I wasn't nervous. It was just more so like the core of me just wanted to help.
Yeah.
And I seen kids that looked like me that had the same type of feelings that I had. So. If I could help in any way, that's what I was more concerned with, for real.
Word, that's real. Were you know, what's kind of the biggest thing that you've learned from, you know, being a coach? You know, it's a lot different than being a player.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I learned from being a coach is to not assume. You know what I mean? Like I think it's impossible for me to be a basketball player.
Yeah.
Well, it's not impossible. It's tough for me to be a basketball player and to completely break down my basketball knowledge. Like I think everybody knows how to do a 3-man weave. I think everybody knows how to pick and pop or to pass and cut. But like being a coach teaches me to break it all the way down from the essence of basketball, like passing, catching, dribbling.
Yeah.
And in doing that, like it's important that I kind of keep those things in perspective that, you know, I'm starting from the ground up no matter who I'm with, even if it's a good basketball player, if they're talented, I want to make sure the fundamentals and the essence of what basketball is to me is there. That's
I imagine a lot of patience too.
Yeah, bro. This shit, you know what I mean? So it's still a work in progress. But for the most part, this is it, bro. We like Kiera, she do all our pictures and I get my man Rob from the wall tats to kind of make it look a little better. I want them to be able to see themselves when they come in here.
Nah, this joint hard.
Nah, for sure.
He having a good season.
Yeah, bro. Freshman, young dude, man. He don't even understand yet. He going through the trials of it. He's special. He gonna be the one for sure. He the one.
He look confident on the court.
Juice the one for sure. For sure. Gift with a dude named Gift Moses. With a name like
come on. It was written
like that.
It was written for real. Sure. I like the energy. The energy.
That's one of those moments where like everybody outside of the program is like, oh, he, but we do this all the time, bro. Like I demand certain stuff out of them, and like, you know, I go to whatever. I got a great relationship with Ethan though. Ethan, that's my man. He's special already, but he just scratching the surface on how good he's gonna be. So sometimes I'll be having a reminder. Bobby Knight.
That's Coach Carter vibes.
That's it.
But that trust factor there.
That's what it is. I have a no nonsense policy. Like I don't tolerate a lot of stuff outwardly. But you know, once you get to know the system and the way that I coach and the program that I have, like you'll see that it's all about patience, literally. And that's something that I instill into my players, whether they're the captain of the team, the leader, the manager, an assistant coach, everybody. We gotta all be patient with each other because we all learning, like everybody. Like I'm perceived as a pretty good coach now, but like in actuality, I call it like coach years. It's like dog years. Like you think from one year to the next, you realize how much you don't know. Like when I first started this, I'm like, oh, I can coach pretty well. And now looking at it 5 years later, I'm like, I didn't know what I was doing year one. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty much that type of thing where I like to keep the right thing in perspective. And patience is the main thing because you got to have patience with yourself. So if I can have it with myself, and I can teach everybody else to have it with each other. So that's kind of the main thing.
Okay. And now, you know, you mentioned a lot about, you know, you're coaching young men. You know, a lot of people look at basketball, being a coach as, you know, as players coach, but, you know, you kind of take it a little bit of a step further. Like, what are some of those values you really focus on, you know, instilling in them?
I think all we are in the coaching world or in whatever world you're in when it comes to teaching is just pretty much preparing whoever for after. Like, basketball is great. It's my favorite thing in the world, but like, it's going to be over with. And as a player, I felt like I didn't know what the world was like from another lens. And I think that kind of was my biggest challenge after basketball ended for me, where I'm like, okay, what do I do? And I'm still in that space, you know what I'm saying? So like my job as a coach is to use basketball to prepare us for life. Literally, that's what I'm here for. That's why I'm a coach. Of course, it feels good going undefeated and winning, but after high school or after whatever level that you do that at, you know, those things are big and they're important, but not as important as day-to-day in your bottom line life, you know what I'm saying? So like, I try to use basketball as a tool to teach about how to stay resilient, how to respond to adversity, how to be a part of something that's bigger than yourself. It's just more important to me to build them for when I'm not here or when basketball isn't here or when you're now responsible for somebody. So my main thing is however many kids we have on the team, if we got 10 kids or 11 kids or 12 kids, the main thing for me is we got 12 leaders. We got 12 captains. Because for one, if you're responsible for somebody, something inside of you just makes you rise to the occasion. Like, okay, all right, I'm responsible for it. We all got to make these sprints. And if that's your thing and you're responsible for it, you feel a heightened level of belonging and a heightened level of wanting to achieve those things. And on the flip side of that is, if someone else is a leader, then that shows you how to follow, that teaches you how to follow. I think a big thing with leadership and people that's in positions of power and leaders, they don't follow too well, and the best leaders are great followers. And you don't just become a follower; you learn how to follow. Most important with that is you got to know who to follow. You know what I'm saying? And what are they saying? Where are they taking me? If I'm following you, where are you taking me? And you know that's the flip side of both. You got to know how to lead. You got to know how to follow. Those things that balance is out. And that's the main thing that I want. Like teaching young men, especially in our community, especially that look like us. We got to know both of those things because you're not always going to be a leader. I know that's what it seems like. I know that's what life tells you. I know that's what society tells you. But like at some point you have to follow. Like, we all do. We don't know it all. You know what I'm saying? So like being able to follow humbly, like, okay, Dad, this dude know what he's doing. Okay, cool. And it could be the smallest thing of like, I don't know how to get my Wi-Fi going in my house, but somebody does. Like somebody got to show me. But like just overall, it's important to me to develop those small values now that might not matter, that might not make no sense, but in the long run, in the big picture of it, those things add up. So I think like trying to use what I've learned, what I feel like I still need to learn, and if I can tackle it early and teach them what I feel like I need to know now, try to use basketball to do that. You know what I'm saying? Missing a layup. Missing a layup is missing a layup in basketball. But if you say, man, we got to be more disciplined, you know you got to put the ball in the square. It's just focus.
Yeah.
Discipline and focus is something that we're using a layup, but
it transcends beyond the court.
Bro, you know what I'm saying? So like, not to be long-winded, but that would be how I would attach that.
You know, I hear a lot about, you know, leadership, and sometimes you got to be able to lead from the front and the back. Like,
for sure.
Being able to watch, you know, some of y'all's practices, and I see how your captain, like, he leads.
Yeah.
You know, how's it been, you know, kind of being able to pour into him and help him kind of find his voice,
and
you know, at a young age.
It would be sexy for me to say, yeah, man, like I did it in 1 year. But
Yeah.
like, he's been with me for 5 years. So I had his older brother, his name is Fasayo Adebimpe.
Okay.
I had his older brother my first year coaching. And he was in 8th grade, and he would just come on Saturday, just like you seen the young dude, like his name Praise. I got his older brother. But like, I encourage that, like, come on, bring them early. I want them to see what it's like on this side early. So I have Sayo, he was coming in on Saturday morning practices, just watching, and I would throw him in the fire, like, come on in here. And I would treat him probably crazier than I treated my kids. Like, man, get out of here. You ain't ready for this. Get out of here. You know what I'm saying? So like, what you see now is just a culmination of like 4 or 5 years of just me treating him like he is a leader. So eventually you're gonna realize you're gonna rise to it. Like, okay, Dad, it's gonna be small steps of like, okay, all I gotta do is just talk. Then once you talk, you're like, I don't really know what I'm talking about. Okay, now I gotta know what to talk about. Okay, now I gotta know how to, you know what I mean? So like, seeing him flourish now is incredible because I don't think he understood what this could do for him. And I still don't think he understands what it could do for him. Like, of course, basketball is gonna be is basketball. Of course, making a 3-pointer is great, but like being able to lead a company, being able to be an employee in a company, a good employee in a company, all of these things are great, and it starts with these type of values. You know what I'm saying? But for him to lead the ship, for him to steer the ship, for me is like, I have to like keep in how proud I am, and like I'm trying to work on being able to express that a little bit more. But just seeing his maturity and his growth is important to me because that's what I'm doing this for. It isn't, you know, of course I want to win a state championship, of course, but like more importantly, I see we had homecoming last night, and like to see the guys that I coached. And to see the guy, you know what I mean, like come back and want to be a part of it. I remember a time where it wasn't that beautiful here. So to see the guys that I coached want to come and be a part, and they had a part in him being a good leader because he was a great follower for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? He's been thrown into the role of the league, but he's been with me for 4 years now. So like he was taking a part in he's seen great leaders and he's seen bad leaders. So he take the great stuff, okay, Dad, I can do that. And he's seen leaders that were more dictators than, hey man, how do you feel? And like now, he's got a lot of people in him, and you know, that's where he is with leadership.
The culture and the community here is strong. You know, when it comes to Raleigh basketball, especially when it comes to Enloe basketball, you can feel it. Like when you walk in, and I seen you coaching, like I got excited.
Sure.
You know, if you had to think about like 3 characteristics to describe like the culture you're building here, what would it be?
The first word is always gonna be toughness. Like toughness, family for sure. Like I know anywhere I go, if I see green and gold, like first thing I'm saying, like, did you go to Enloe? Whether they went to Enloe or not, because I know how that is. That those colors matter to me. That family aspect, and then overall, like it's just how do we respond to adversity?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like toughness, family, then just being able to respond. I think like, you know, life happens to everybody, good or bad. Good or bad, and how do we respond to it? So I think, and then basketball is great, and to show that, because somebody's gonna make a shot, you're gonna get a stop. Every play, every possession, every time down, you have to respond to something. And I think the great ones are really, really good at their responses. Like a lot of people think it's proactive. Like, okay, I'm proactive, like I'm dominating offensively, or I'm getting a stop defensively. They think it's being proactive, and being proactive is a good part of it, but it's more so the response. How are you responding to cues on a basketball court? And it was, you know, off the flip side, off the court, how are you responding to social cues? How are you responding to being able to read the room, being able to read the game? And those things kind of correlate, and I'm doing my best to kind of use basketball to teach those things outside. So those would be my 3 things. I know you know, those 3 things, not 3 words, but just those 3, yeah.
No, I think that's good. And it's funny when I look at the team, you know, you always hear that quote, good players practice until they get it right, and then great players practice until they can't get it wrong.
Come on. And that's literally it. Because you're going to be in here, and if you're going to be in here, that's not good enough.
Yeah.
Being here isn't good enough. Like, what are you going to do while you're here? We all are here. But like, what are we going to do while we're here? That's what I want to know. You know what I mean? And then that toughness aspect, like the work, you know, if you talk to my kids, I think they'll say that word a lot. But I think it's a misconception on toughness. I think the surface level answer to like what toughness is rah-rah, push somebody on the floor, rough people up, and that ain't it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, can you box out 10 times out of 10? That's being tough. You know what I mean? Can you take criticism when you done missed 2 shots and your teammates like keep shooting? Or, you know what I mean? Those things are what I mean by toughness. Like, those are the things. Like, can you stay focused and locked in for the duration of however long you're supposed to be locked in? Like, those things are what's tough because it's hard to do. That stuff is hard to do. You know what I'm saying? It sounds easy, but the teams that win on a high level and the people that are successful at a high level, I think they do the tough things. They make those tough things look like it's minuscule for real.
Yeah. Outside of your time here, you know, coaching, I know you do a lot in the community. As you think about, you know, kind of the impact that you want to leave, if everything goes how you want it to, like, what would success look like on your impact in the community?
It's tough to measure success, but what it would look like to me is just, you know, different and better than when I got it. So when I decided to try to make a change, or when I decided to kind of put my foot into this, like, I just wanted to change it. I seen something, I seen voids in our community, whether it was the celebration of ourselves, whether it was impacting the youth, whether it was business, whatever I felt was a void, or whatever I felt like, oh man, this could use some tweaking. Instead of kind of talking about it and saying what people should do about it, I try to put my foot in it and see if I can make a change at all. So I think what success would look like, and what success does look like to me, is being able to, when I'm done, when I'm gone, like just being able to change it. I wanted to leave it better than when I found it.
That reminds me of a Kobe quote. Like, he said, "This has given me more than I've taken from it."
Absolutely, absolutely. And like, everything that we've spoken on, especially this community, like, it's made me who I am. Like, it literally has. So for me to understand those things and be aware of that, and not continue to pour back into it, and sacrifice kind of myself and the things that, you know, might not feel the best. Like, I want those things to be evident. Like, I want the community to feel better when they see me, when they hear my name. I want to speak life into it, because it's a lot of people that's taken from it. It's a lot of people that's and a lot of things that's detrimental to our community. So I want, you know, myself and the people that I support and that I'm around to speak life into it.
Okay. If you had to describe what it means to be from Raleigh in 5 words, what would those words be?
Can I do 6?
You can do 6, yeah.
How bad do you want it? You know what I mean? Like, I think in Raleigh, it's kind of a trap, because it's not bad, it's not the Bronx, but it's also not Beverly Hills. It's not that. We right in the middle. And I think mediocrity is really easy. I think average is really, really easy. And everything that you need and want is in Raleigh. You know what I'm saying? So how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to be really, really successful? How bad do you really, really want to be the highest level of what you do? It's okay here to be subpar or average at what you do and still be fine. You know what I mean? So I think being from Raleigh shows the people that excel and the people that, you know, you remember and you feel good about, they wanted it. Whatever it is, they wanted it bad. So how bad do you want it? Whatever it is that you're going after, how bad do you want it? Because it's easy to be average. Being from here, you could wake up and be average, because we're all talented, we're all smart, we're all, you know, all of those good things. We're all tough. We all got, you know what I mean? We all have that. So like, coming from here, it's just about how bad do you want it? Because you're going to be able to achieve, and you're going to have the resources. Just naturally, you're going to meet somebody that's doing really well in their field. So like, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to excel in what you do.
Last question. What are you most proud of?
I think me being a father, but I think overall, like to piggyback on that, that I feel that my name, my reputation, is tied to doing for others. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think with that type of bottom line, I think I'll be around forever, whether I'm here or not.
That's real. Appreciate your time.
Nah, thank you, bro.
Cool. Thank you.
Sure.
That's on fire.